Hello, this is Margaret Fetty from the University of Sewing, and we wanted to wish you a happy Halloween. Today, there's a football game going on at IU at 3:30. There's Halloween, there's all the thoughts and things that we have going on for fall. But one thing I did want to mention to you, if you aren't, I had to have somebody tell me this, it didn't occur to me. We only have today, including today, 8 Saturdays until Christmas. And we have lots of things going on. Oh, by the way, there's that election thing also. So we have just all these wonderful things going on in our lives right now. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to win a $30 gift certificate from us at the University of Sewing. And I wanted to point out that this particular contest I have kind of between all the different garments my employees made for our serger overlocker contest. These are getting ready to, we're almost done with this voting. So at the end of today, we're gonna stop the voting on it. And doesn't matter who you vote for, what's gonna be going on is that if you go ahead and respond on Facebook or you send me an email at info@universityofsewing.com and you vote for one of these, we put you in the drawing for this wonderful little contest, and then you can win a $30 gift certificate. You can use it online, you can use it in person. We are still doing curbside pickup, so we would love to have you vote in our contest. I also wanted to let you know some of the things that in this whole idea of getting ready for the holidays, one of the things I thought about, a lot of you have got some wonderful, wonderful fabrics in your stash, or you might want to come in here and get some wonderful fabrics. We've got a lot of cool stuff on sale and regular prices in our cotton collection. And I'm going to show you today how I put together a wonderful little fabric bag that you can make at home. You can use, I'm going to use a serger, but you can use your sewing machine. You just have to go to regular straight stitch instead of a serger. And I'm going to show you how I put this bag together. It's going to take us less than 10 minutes. And you will be able to see that instead of maybe going and spending a ton of money on paper wrapping for the holidays or any time of the year, frankly, this is a really good idea, and it's kind of like giving two gifts in one. So I'm gonna bring you on over here, and you'll see that we have this little stuffed animal. He is in a little fabric bag. Now, stuffed animals are a pain in the neck to wrap, as anyone who's wrapped one can tell you. But guess what? With a fabric bag, it takes no time at all. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do. And all of you can do this with any kind of a sewing machine or a serger. It's really simple. So what we are going to do with this, by the way, what I would do to finish this little bag off is just use some ribbon to tie the top of it, and you're done. So what I typically have done for an unusually sized item such as this little dog is I would measure around him, and notice we put his little feet up there too, so when I measure around him, I'd measure around him with the feet. And it turned out that he measured about 42 inches around, and guess what fabric, cotton fabric comes in? 45 inches wide. So all I had to do is measure around his body and then measure from the bottom to the top. And remember, you want to leave about 6 inches above him so you can gather it up and put a bow on it. So it turned out, this is so weird, it just turned out it was a yard. So what I did was I cut a yard of fabric and I folded it in half. And then I sewed a seam at the bottom here. I sewed another seam over here. And then what I'm going to do for my next step, and this is where you guys are going to join me, is I'm going to do a rolled hem on my serger, but you could also just fold this twice and top stitch it if you don't have a serger. But let's come on over here, and I'm gonna quickly just do a rolled hem on this, and we are going to and see, that'll give me a finished edge for the top of my bag, so I don't have to hem it. So we're just going to go around this bag, and we're going to sew. And so you get the idea. See, nice little finished edge on it. And it'll just finish off that edge. And I'm going to finish that later, so you guys don't have to sit through this it just takes too long. Because it's a rolled edge. It takes a few minutes. So the next part of the process, again, this was 36 inches of 45-inch wide fabric. And all I did was sew a seam. I folded it in half lengthwise, and I sewed a seam here and a seam down at the bottom. Well, if I want the bag to have kind of a squared off bottom, and I'll show you on this one where it's finished. So it has a little squared off bottom. See those two seams right there? It kind of makes it so that it's got a nice little box kind of way. And this makes it sit better when you go to put your present in it. And again, you can make this for any size of thing. One of the things I like to do is do this for little wine bags, so because wine's such a nice little housewarming gift and so forth. And also, I mean, just anything unusual shape, this works really well. You could always, if it was a really big thing, I one time gave my granddaughters some stuffed bears that were as big as me, or I should say maybe as big as them. And, but actually probably me too counts because I'm only 5'2". So we just took 2 big pieces of fabric, sewed them down on the sides, and then we did the little box part on the bottom, and then I pulled them up over the bears and put a ribbon on them, and what a fun gift that was. So to make that squared off bottom is really, really simple. All you're gonna do is, this is my side seam, this is my bottom seam, and all I'm gonna do is just match those 2 seams together. So I'm just gonna match those 2 seams, and then what I'm gonna do, and you can always put a pin in here if that's needed. I didn't leave any pins handy for me, but you can put a pin in here to hold it together. And so what you could do is put a pin right here. See, I'm matching those 2 seams up. Now, look at the line I've got drawn right here. See this line? What I did was I took my ruler and I laid it down on my seam line, and I just drew a line across there. So now what I can do is I can sew right across this, and that's gonna look like this inside. So see? So you've got, now you have to do this twice. So here's the other side. So we just matched up the seams and drew a line and stitched it. So take your straight stitch on your sewing machine, or in this case I used a chain stitch on my overlocker cover stitch machine, and I did a stitch right across there. Then you can just leave those, they aren't going to hurt anything being just free. So you just pull these inside, and there's my finished bag. It's got a nice little squared bottom on it. And like I said, all you do is wrap it up, put a little ribbon on it. Fastest little gift wrapping present ever. This whole thing, cutting it out, marking it, and sewing it, like 10 minutes max. So I am sure that you have some fabric at home. You're like, why did I buy this? What do I need this for? Or you have some fabric. Maybe you don't have any Christmas fabric. Well, we have some right now. It's on sale for 30% off. I'm showing you one of the fabrics that I'm talking about, this great Punzetta fabric. And you could go ahead and come in and purchase some of this, and you could make yourself a ton of bags to go with your gifts. And then you are either using up some of your fabric, or you are able to just create a really nice looking, beautiful gift that maybe you wouldn't normally have done that. But right now we all have more time at home than we wanted. So this is a really good time to consider doing that. So if you have any questions about what I did, if something doesn't make sense, just ask me in the comments and I'll be happy to respond. Might take me a minute after this is over with, but I'll be happy to do that. And I always go back and look at them later. Facebook lets me know when there's comments. We're also going to post this on YouTube, and I'll probably put a little bit more information on how I cut things and where I marked stuff in the notes in that YouTube description. And if you haven't done it, can you please go on to YouTube and subscribe to the University of Sewing's YouTube station? We would love that. And we are always making new videos and trying to add new things for you. We have a lot of things going on. Our cabinets are on sale this week for 20% off. We have free delivery until Christmas on cabinets and sewing machines. There's all kinds of things going on. I hope you come and see us, but if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's okay. You can always shop online at our website, universityofsewing.com. We'll happily bring it out to your car if you need be. And we carry a lot of unusual stuff, so go over there and check it out. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and happy Halloween.